Have you ever wondered if you're on the right path? That feeling that, no matter how hard you try, your goals seem distant, almost unreachable? Have you ever thought about giving up because things aren't happening as fast as you'd like? I want to invite you to reflect on something essential. Within each of us, there is a strength that, when cultivated the right way, can transform the greatest challenges into incredible achievements. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who also needs to learn how to wait for the right moment to reap life's rewards. Stay with me until the end and follow the journey of someone who experienced this firsthand. I guarantee you won't regret it. Amidst the barnyard, a rooster, restless and determined, scratched the ground in search of food. His beak, swift and precise, stirred the dry earth, eager for a kernel of corn or any crumb that could satisfy his hunger. With each peck, he expressed his instinctive need for survival, something every living being understands well. Life, after all, is an endless pursuit of what keeps us going, and for him, that meant finding sustenance at any cost. It didn't matter if the ground was hard or if dust rose with his movements. The rooster kept going. His keen eyes scanned every corner, his claws kicked aside small stones and dry leaves. There was a natural urgency in his search, as if time itself were an invisible enemy. Anyone who has ever felt hunger knows that the need for food allows no rest. And there he was, a simple rooster, but with an instinct anyone would recognize, the daily struggle for survival. Then, in the middle of the disturbed soil, something subtly gleamed under the sunlight. It wasn't a grain, nor a worm, but something unexpected. The rooster tilted his head, curiously observing the small relic hidden in the dirt. His instincts told him he had found something unusual, but what exactly was it? Intrigued, the rooster stepped closer to the small, shining object. His sharp eyes examined every detail of this unusual discovery. It wasn't food, it didn't smell like corn or insects, but it gleamed in an oddly captivating way. He pecked at it lightly, testing its texture, and felt something hard and cold beneath his beak. For a moment, he was surprised. What was such a beautiful yet strange thing doing there, mixed with the dry soil? Without fully understanding the rarity of his find, the rooster tilted his head from side to side, trying to make sense of the situation. If it had been a wriggling worm or a crunchy seed, his reaction would have been instant. But this seemed to belong to another world. The pearl lay there, indifferent to the rooster's astonishment, as if silently mocking his ignorance of its true worth. He scratched the ground around it, as if searching for more context for his discovery. Maybe there was more, maybe it had some use. But no matter how much he dug, nothing else appeared. It was just him and that shiny, strange thing, useless for his immediate needs. Well, the rooster pecked the pearl again, as if hoping that, by some miracle, it would transform into a kernel of corn. But nothing happened. The jewel remained there, untouched, gleaming as if to say, "I am valuable, but not to you." He huffed, or whatever the equivalent is for a rooster, and took a few steps back. What good was something so beautiful if it couldn't satisfy his hunger? Necessity speaks louder than any sparkle. For a moment, he even considered taking the object with him, but for what? No other animal in the barnyard would trade something edible for a tasteless, scentless thing. The rooster, with his instinctive wisdom, realized it wasn't worth wasting time on something that didn't meet his real needs. The world may be full of shiny things, but not everything that glows holds value for those who need something tangible. With an indifferent glance, the rooster turned away and went back to scratching the ground, as if nothing had happened. The pearl might have been precious to someone, but to him, it was just an obstacle standing between him and his breakfast. What mattered now was finding something that truly served him. After all, what's the point of possessing something rare if you can't use it at the right moment? As the rooster continued his search, a simple but profound thought crossed his mind. He glanced at the pearl with a lightness he hadn't felt before, perhaps because of the quiet moment. To a jeweler, he thought, this would be a great treasure. The idea made sense to him for a brief second, because in a world so vast, something that seemed insignificant to him could be of immense value to someone else. But the thought quickly faded, and the search for food once again took priority. After all, in the rooster's world, What could be more important than hunger? Suddenly, that small, seemingly useless find became a reflection of how every being lives in a universe with different needs and priorities. To someone who is hungry, he reflected, a piece of bread is worth more than gold. The perspective shifted instantly. And in that fleeting moment of wisdom, a crucial lesson emerged. What is valuable to some may not be to others. What one sees as indispensable may hold no worth to another. At that moment, the rooster understood that true wealth is not just about what you find, but about what you truly need. He refocused on his goal, finding food. All he wanted in that instant was something to satisfy his hunger. And unlike a pearl, food had a clear and immediate value. A simple reflection, but one that led him to practical action, to continue his search without further distractions. Without hesitation, the rooster turned and, with the same energy and focus as before, kept scratching at the ground. He left the pearl behind, as if stepping aside from an insignificant obstacle. His mind was clear. He wouldn't waste time on something that wouldn't feed him. With every step, he felt the urgency of necessity, something stronger than any shine or beauty that might cross his path. For him, this was a moment for action, and his priority was clear: to satisfy his hunger. The decision was made quickly, and he didn't look back. The pearl would remain there, unnoticed by a hungry rooster. There was something deeply practical about his choice, something we can all understand. Sometimes we must let go of what glows or seems promising to focus on what truly brings immediate results. The rooster wasn't fooled. He knew his search wasn't for wealth but for survival. With a sigh of relief, the rooster dove back into the dirt. There was no more time to waste on distractions. What mattered now was sustenance, the simple need to fill his belly. The pearl's glow was already a thing of the past, a mere reminder of what is fleeting in the face of life's urgency. And so, he carried on, determined to follow the path that truly mattered. The lesson the rooster teaches us is simple yet powerful. What is valuable to some may not hold the same worth for others, depending on their needs and priorities. The world is full of riches, but the value of each thing is closely tied to the moment and to what we truly need. To a jeweler, the pearl would be a treasure. To the rooster, who only wanted to eat, it was nothing more than a shiny stone. Every being has its own definition of wealth, and what seems essential to one may be completely irrelevant to another. This leads us to reflect on how we relate to the things we encounter in our journey. The rooster could have been mesmerized by the pearl's shine and ignored his basic need. But instead, he made a practical decision, understanding that it wouldn't help him at that moment. This kind of discernment is crucial in life. It's not about accumulating what glows but about recognizing what truly brings benefit. Learning to make choices based on our real needs is an exercise in wisdom. Throughout life, we all have to choose between what is truly necessary and what only appears desirable but serves no immediate purpose. The moral of the story, then, is this: true wealth lies in knowing what to prioritize, based on the moment and our needs. That is what truly makes a difference in our journey. If this reflection touched your heart and you feel like you've learned something important today, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever a new video goes live. And share this with someone who needs to hear this message. Comment below what you thought about the story and how patience has made a difference in your life. Let's spread this message of perseverance and trust in the process together. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, and once again, share it with someone who needs this dose of inspiration.